Alright, patch 0.6.6. We got a couple of balance adjustments and system changes, and then a couple of bug fixes. So we're going to be going through the patch notes, and then I got a couple of clips of testing from these patch notes. So we'll start with just reading them through. A warning will now be displayed on the screen if your world settings are too high for the system playing the game. I recently upgraded my PC, so I hope I never see this warning at least. Changed Herbil pulls so that players will be invincible for a short time when getting up. That can be very overpowered depending on how long that duration is. A short time could be anything from like a second to 10 seconds, so we'll test that out, I guess. Slightly expanded the hit detection of Excalibur's Shockwave. A bit of an area of effect boost, slightly expanded. Okay. Fixed an issue where the hit detection and visual effects on Terrorblade were misaligned. That should be pretty obvious then when you're testing it that it's actually hitting where you're aiming now. Some controller changes, easy bulk storage control adjustment, pressing the LS button now applies immediately. Okay, common console W I guess. Change the appearance of the PAL's rank up items. Okay, so that's like the PAL extracts got a new icon, I guess. The appearance. Maybe it's when you drop them on the floor that they're not a pouch, but we'll see. Adjust NPC trust modifier. Adjust? Does that mean I need to do it? Adjusted, I guess. NPC trust modifiers to be in line with the implementation of NPC passive skills. But NPC's passive skills don't work. Does this mean they just removed trust from NPCs? Gonna have to test that out, I guess. Added item decay speed option to the world settings. Okay, well, that's pretty nice. I guess it's like they've been adding the weight modifier and the durability modifier. Now we've got item decay speed. Should mean that you don't need to use like the... For me personally, the thing I think of immediately is it's pretty nice with the cavern mushrooms, because that was the only thing I really cared about if it decayed before. But it's nice, I guess, if you don't want to be wasting pals on like refrigerators, or you got your like Musarina curry decaying slowly in your inventory if you're walking around with that. So let's just jump into some tests, I guess. Okay, so I ended up testing out the Herbil thing against Björn, because Björn is very efficient at killing me. And it seems like Herbil is still just flying away, so they didn't change the gravity on the pal at all. But once I go down, the Herbil comes and revives me, and this short duration is very short. You can see I tank for about a second. So it just means that you're not gonna you have like one chance to roll out of something when you do get revived. So it's not like a 10-second invincibility, which would have been pretty nice against like Xenoloord. I still feel like 1 second you might get a roll off, but you're not gonna be having time to really get out of all the Xenovaders and stuff there. But overall, I guess it's nice to just not get one shot like immediately after being revived. You can see it does its little slap, and I spawn in a wall splash, but I don't die while the Herbil just went flying. So I got 5 Herbils here, and the cooldown on this seems to be, you can see it there maybe in the bottom right, like 500 seconds or something. So the majority of a fight. Then I went ahead and tested. There is this little trick, bug, glitch, abuse that you can do that I wanted to just see if they'd fixed it while I was testing this. So when you drop pals on the ground, you reset the cooldown on their partner skill, or you used to at least. But it seems like you still do. I was just looking for the button here really. So since all of these are favorited, I couldn't drop them on the ground. You have to remove the favorite first. The downside of having trust, I guess. Now it's gonna have trust issues, because now I dropped the Herbil on the ground. I pick it back up again, and you can hopefully see that the cooldown there, they're all named the same thing, but there's only 2 of them on cooldown now, there was 3 before. So then I went ahead and did that on all the Herbils, not going to show the entire thing there. So I was just abusing this, dropping it on the floor, picking it up again, you reset the cooldown, it heals me. But then it seems that doing this trick, exploit, glitch thing, it kind of bugged Björn out. So you notice now, he just kind of stopped attacking. So this was after doing the drop thing maybe once or twice. I'm not really sure what triggers it. If it's just me dropping it on the ground, if it's because I was picking up Herbil just before I died. But overall, like, this is probably something you can abuse for an easy Björn kill if you want, like at any level really. Just sent out my Terra Prisma and went to town afterwards. So it seems, even if the damage looks a little low here on the Terra Prisma, I did go in and also test the Terra Prisma after this. and I could not see any changes in the overall damage there. So no Terra Prisma nerf hidden in the patch notes at all. But over, like, this has not been fixed yet. I mean, it was better. Before you wouldn't even get the victory. Now you do get the victory. So you can still do this, like, infinite life abuse with Herbil and actually bug out bosses. Just a little neat thing, I guess, with the patch notes. Then we have this PAL extract. So I thought all of mine had been deleted. I couldn't find it in the PAL box, but they also changed the name. It's now Ripe Awakening Starfruit, not Concentrated Thing. And then there's the setting. So the setting is down here somewhere around the item weight rate. You get the item decay rate multiplier. So you can just drag that to 0 if that's something you care about. And then when you're in the game, you can see there's no item decay rate there. So I don't know why I'm showing this. It was a pretty simple one, really. But I did want to show something. Then we have the bug fixes. So usually, at least for me, the bug fixes and the balance changes are pretty much the same thing. So we'll read through this and see if there's anything that looks interesting. So bug fixes, implemented countermeasures for save data bloating and rollback issues. Always nice, I guess, when they fix that kind of stuff. We'll see what kind of problems emerge from the fix. Fixed a bug where passive skills effect were not applied to human NPCs. Okay, so that might be the thing with the alignment for the trust. We're gonna have to test that then with how trust and passive skills now work. But I guess that means that you can now surgery table. If the surgery table works on humans, you can get yourself that, like the big guy, the Judicator guy, or whatever he's called, with Gathering level 3. You can catch him pretty early. And then I guess use some surgery table stuff for passives on them. I guess you still can't really breed them, but passive skills on humans, pretty nice if you do want to do. I've seen a couple of builds with some good passives on humans, mostly for meme builds, and it's a shame that like stuff like Serenity hasn't been working before, so that's something I'm gonna be testing now. Fixed a bug that allowed climbing on spheres during capture. No, revert, bring back v0.6.5. Does this mean I can't launch anymore? I was just making a video on how I was using that launch bug to get to the little tropical island of the starting zone with a Celery. Good thing I didn't upload that yesterday, because I got distracted by the winter update. But hopefully it's just a climbing thing and you can still launch on it. We'll be testing that as well. Fixed an issue with the sorting order of key items. I mean, who cares? Lol. Fixed a bug where the treasure chest would sometimes not appear at the end of random dungeons. Very good. I was just thinking that maybe they just like shifted these chests around, because I had that bug happen a couple of times. And I didn't know if it was intended or not. But it's nice to be confirmed that it is a bug. They're supposed to be chests. Fixed a bug where Zoe's assault rifle would continue to fire after defeating an enemy. Cool. Fixed a bug. Okay, I'm not gonna read fixed a bug every time. It's on every single sentence. Shooting the mega boost gun at the pals while mounted would not increase their stats, so that's being fixed. In multiplayer, we're equipping a waste lantern and entering a dungeon would turn the entire screen yellow. Okay. We're using high breach with Velasco or Last Ignis would sometimes cause the player to fall through the floor. That's a shame. I always like finding the glitches to go underground and do some underground exploring. If Herbil was used just before the player became incapacitated, Herbil pulse would not activate and progression would become impossible. Well, there's another Herbil bug they need to look at, I guess, from the previous clips. So they fix one little bug in the code and two little bugs in the code appear. NPCs would not retaliate when attacked. I guess we'll see what this is all about at some point. Maybe it's something with burning the Black Marketeer or something. They're always trying to fix the burning of the Black Marketeer. Allowed construction near towers. Well, I wasn't building bases there. I guess that's more a multiplayer thing, where people would block that, maybe. Fix the music playing. I think that's the music. Would sometimes continue playing after the player died. Cool. I don't think I've had that happen. I needed to turn the game off and on again to fix that. Aim assist would not function properly during Moonlord battle. Is that aim assist for like the controller stuff, or do they mean the aim assist for... I'm assuming it's the controller. I'll test it anyway, because some homing stuff doesn't work against Moonlord like the homing missiles and jet dragon rockets and stuff like that. Certain PAL skills would fail when used over water. I don't really fight much over water, but always a nice fix. In the arena where using Huggy Fire would cause enemies to become stuck. Yeah, that cheese has been fixed. Hollow Plate Mail not reducing damage taken from Extreme Moonlord. Okay, so that is supposed to reduce the damage of Terraria monsters, and now Moonlord, I assume that's Moonlord Master, and now the Hallowed Plate Mail will reduce damage taken. That's a little passive skill baked into the armor, I guess. We're gonna have to see if that's worth it compared to using the Hexlight armor at some point, I guess. But at the same time, I don't really take a lot of damage with Moonlord. Maybe they fixed it so you can't stand outside the base now and fight him, we'll see. Unreleased items were being displayed in the flea market. I don't think I even unlocked the flea market, but that's probably a multiplayer thing. And then an issue where DualSense input was not supported on Windows 64. I'm just on Windows 10. Okay, I'll do some testing on these and put some clips in here as well then. Okay, so the passives, we're adding them in the surgery table. That seems to be fine. I guess you could do this before as well, but they just weren't working. So we'll go into combat and see. You're gonna max out this so as well and see how it's looking with this firepower thing with the trust. So it took it up to the expedition station, and it's looking a lot weaker on trust now. This is a maxed out so with IVs, souls, everything, and it's looking weaker than Necromus. So now, I guess humans are just pals without an element or partner skill now. They work the same way with passives, with trust, with everything. I took her to Saya and Celine, just the basic version to see. And she uses Flame Funnel there at the start of the fight. I think it's like 58 seconds or something. It's a 40 cooldown on it, so if Serenity and Impatient are working now, she should be using it right about now. Okay, I guess that looked reasonable. It was a little bit late. 40 and then the built-in reduction factor. Maybe the roll works like a filler attack where she just doesn't do anything. Is she gonna Flame Funnel again? Okay, yeah, that was a pretty quick one. That was only like 15 seconds or something. So, yeah, I guess that means Impatient and Serenity worked. So now you can actually build some pretty fun humans. Can't put them in the global PAL box and stuff like that. So here's the Judicator guy I was talking about. I think that's how you pronounce that, Judicator. But he has a pretty fun stick attack. Boom. Usually sends you flying if you get attacked by it. Doesn't seem to have a lot of cooldown. So that you can do some cool builds with these humans now, I guess. Not sure when you would want to use human. Like, the downside here is that I can't use any booster pals on it. But I guess I could just use Gobfins. Gonna have to really check out how good these humans are compared to just regular pals. Because the dodge thing is kinda nice, where she does her little roll. But that also seemed to slow down the attacks quite a bit. And then I did test out the sphere launching, and it seems to have been removed. So, very bad. Bad change. Very not fun. But I did get Heart of the Movable King on it, so I guess that's like a consolation prize, if that's what you call that. And then Moonlord Master. I'm outside the base here, he's not attacking me, so that still seems to work. And it doesn't seem to be any sort of like, you can now shoot the hands with homing attacks. It still doesn't work. You have to use the charge rifle or something here to take those out, so that wasn't changed. It's just aim assist for controllers, I guess, making it a little bit easier for console players. So that's it for this patch test. Let me know if I missed anything, I guess, or if there's something you want me to test. Thanks for watching.